On the legislature's docket as several bills which, if passed, would overhaul the parole and early release systems for prisoners in Louisiana.
David Jones is digging into who would be impacted and what the ramifications of these changes could be. He joins us now.
Governor Jeff Landry and lawmakers are targeting parole with a bill seeking to eliminate parole eligibility for people convicted going forward and to severely restrict prisoners from the ability to earn early releases for good behavior.
It looks like a lot less people are going to be getting parole going forward.
House Bill 9 from Kenner Representative Republican Debbie Villio, if passed, would spell virtually the end of parole eligibility in the state of Louisiana for all crimes committed after August 1st of this year. If a person is convicted, they would have to serve the full sentence handed down. The only exceptions laid out in the bill are for juveniles. House Bill 10, also by Villio, seeks to lower the cap on the amount of time a prisoner's sentence can be reduced for good behavior to a maximum of 15% of the sentence time.
There are a lot more people that are at least eligible for parole now than would be if this law is going to be passed.
Fox 8 legal analyst Joe Responti says the bill signifies sweeping change if passed.
I think this, among a lot of the other things being proposed, is very impactful. If he gets half of what he's asking for, it is really going to change the dynamic of the criminal justice system and the penal system here in this state.
This is the South, and I'm not shocked at this. History repeats itself.
Amir Baraka is an Emmy-nominated actor and author from the New Orleans area who also served time.
I served 4 years in a boys correctional facility. I worked in the fields. When I left after 4 years, they gave me $82.
Baraka advocates against crime now, but says he does not feel these bills address its root cause.
I do believe that a person who commits a crime should go to jail depending on the crime. I am not saying that, oh no, don't put black people in jail. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I understand that the scales are like this. Because what I'm seeing right now is frightening. This administration is frightening.
Wardens use parole eligibility and good time opportunities as a way to incentivize good behavior.
Andrew Hunley leads the nonprofit Louisiana Parole Project, which provides reentry support to formerly incarcerated people.
It'll cause a shift within the prisons where people in prisons who are working to rehabilitate themselves, who are working to maintain good behavior, to have those parole hearings. If it's more elusive, they have less incentive to do so.
Hunley says he'd like to see some differentiation between first-time and repeat offenders.
I think a more sensible proposal would be that we allow first offenders the opportunity for a parole hearing. And that's just simply a second look. Doesn't mean that we have to release them, but we just give them that opportunity to determine if they've changed their lives and whether we want them to be granted an early release.
Additionally, Senate Bill 5, if passed, would require unanimous approval by parole board members for parole to be granted.
As it relates to parole board releases, only 22% recidivate within 5 years. So we know that parole board releases are more successful, and just generally people who are being granted parole aren't causing our crime problems.
You better stay out of the jail system. Stay out of the jail system. I'm telling you, we're going back to the old days. We're going back to the old days. What that means is higher sentence, draconian sentencing, and long periods of time.
Villio's House Bill 9 would carry with it an average cost to taxpayers of around $14 million a year. Senate Bill 5 by Covington Republican Senator Patrick McMath would also increase the time between parole hearings if an applicant is denied up to 5 years for crimes of violence from 2 years now. That bill, along with Villio's bills, are scheduled to be heard tomorrow.